Lewisham and Greenwich and Health Education England had a whistleblowing case to fight. And they had 2 law firms and 2 barristers to do it with. And this is where my point is, how we spend the money. Now, of course, I can't say lawyers are bad, whistleblowing cases are bad, and we shouldn't have lawyers fighting for the NHS. But we do need to look at what they do in the public's name with their cash. And it wasn't getting to the issues of the ICU and the patients bleeding to death, which won't surprise you. What they tried to do is undermine my work employment status as a junior doctor in order to stop the case being heard. And £500,000 was spent misleading a court in how me and 54,000 doctors were employed by objectively false submissions and hiding commissioning contracts that same law firm was paid to draft, more public money. And what is important about whistleblowing law in this country is that it's an employment law, and the first thing you have to do is prove you're employed by someone. And so effectively what the NHS did to try and deal with the serious issues in my case for 4 years was to convince an employment tribunal that no one employed me, just to stop the case being heard. Now, for the first 4 years, the legal world thought they did it with clever legal arguments, and it was all very exciting, my trip to the Court of Appeal. I will not bore you with the details. But the good old Telegraph found out it was rather more simple than that, and it was basically Hill Dickinson solicitors saying through their counsel a load of things that weren't true about the way doctors were employed, and hiding large numbers of commissioning employment contracts that showed perfectly plainly that I had a long-term employer, and every doctor in the country also had a long-term employer. So after 4 years and £500,000, the case finally got listed for a full trial, and that was in October 2018. Now, don't get too excited, because that didn't go to final judgment either. During my evidence, myself and my legal team were threatened for cost.